From Carolla One Studios in Glendale, California, this is the Adam Carolla Show. Adam's guest today, Jeff Ross, with Gina Grad on news and Baldwin on sound effects, and now throwing his hat in the ring for Biden's Secretary of Getting It On, Adam Carolla.
Yeah, get it on. Got to get it on. A choice was given. A mandate you get it on, man. Thanks for tuning in, and thanks for sharing with a friend, right? Gina Grad?
That's right.
Handball, Brian?
You suck.
Just trying to get you ready for dealing with the roast master.
Oh, yeah, Ross. Yeah, Chris told me about this viral news story with the reporter Alec Zidane in New Jersey and all that stuff. And I hadn't heard about it. I don't know if you guys did.
Oh, yeah. Is this the F off?
It is.
Yeah.
Now, you know what? So what we try to do over at Carolla Digital, what I try to do is go, everyone's talking about the story. Some people are just sharing it. Some people are saying, they say buzz off. He said fuck off. It sounds like fuck off, but then if you say buzz, it'll sound like buzz off. And he would say that to protect himself, blah, blah, blah. That part just makes it a shareable 20-second clip, which is fine. But I was trying to kind of think, what is a deeper angle here? Because when you watch it, if you say buzz, right, when he says buzz or fuck, it'll sound exactly like buzz. That's just the way the human mind works. You can all do a little experiment. Just say buzz when he says fuck, or don't say it, but think it, and it turns into buzz. Chris is...
President. We're doing is, we're looking, I know about buzz off.
And now it sounds like buzz.
Yeah.
All right, so that's how the mind works. It's interesting. Now, everyone thought he said fuck off, and maybe he did say fuck off. That the point is this. In 2000 and almost 21, everyone heard fuck off. If this was 1955, everyone would have heard buzz off.
I heard skedaddle.
Yes. All you, go on, get. So in 1955, everyone would have heard buzz off, especially a guy wearing a suit who's, got a camera set up. Sure. In 2020, everyone hears fuck off. Now, the word didn't really change that much. It's the times. You know what I mean? And it's interesting. First off, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what year was it 50-50. You know what I mean? Like, everyone heard buzz off in 1955. There really wasn't much. You didn't say fuck off to somebody, or if you did, again, you didn't do it in makeup like the reporter. But when do you think, and it's one of those subtle jump the shark as a society kind of moves. Like, for me, it's like the first time you saw a dog on a Southwest flight. Like, oh boy, bad sign. Bad. What year, let's all write it down.
Oh, God.
What year was it 50? Let's say, what year did fuck off pass buzz off? With just one more fuck off, and you'd be past the 50-50 line. What year did that happen? I don't know if there's any way to research it, but...
It's absolutely scientific.
I gotta... Jeez, I'm trying to... Yeah, okay. All right. Brian, what do you got?
Okay.
I'm going totally scientifically with the year of Watergate, the year that the Vietnam War was just, everyone was over it. I say 74.
Ooh. Interesting. I said 75.
Interesting. I thought it was later. Like, I feel like people were more, even though Nixon was doing whatever Nixon was doing, people were more congenial back then.
So in general, and Brian and I are kind of talking out of turn because I don't know that either of us were born yet, but it seems like the mid 70s is when culturally people started turning. But I would say when you would hear a reporter say that and actually question your own ears, would you think that was maybe around when grunge came in, like maybe 91-ish?
Well, I wrote down 91.
All right.
on my card.
Tuned into you people.
Yeah, Dawson's got her thoughts. But remember, the rules of the game are you would not see that reporter say, or whatever he said, you wouldn't hear it. You'd hear buzz versus fuck. Dawson?
I think it turned around 1984. And as evidence of that, we could use Guns N' Roses' Appetite for Destruction, the song It's So Easy, where I think the real first time in lyrical rock and roll, why don't you just fuck off? And it didn't bother anybody.
Dawson, one small refinement to that there. I love it, but from a Guns N' Roses nerd, that album did not drop till 87.
Didn't I? I know. I'm sorry. I didn't say. I said in 84 is when I think it turned. I know the album dropped in 87. But that's because then it's been 3 years.
Two thoughts. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Thanks, Brian.
There's a steeping.
I know it was released in 87.
There's a steeping process.
Sorry, I just heard 84.
Yeah. Well, good. Good for clarity. Yeah. The reporter hearing, again, the experiment is what does most of society hear? And I have it later. 74 is mid-70s too early for me. Because mid-70s look early, or 74, 75, there's a lot of guys who look like the 60s. And I don't mean hippie 60s. I mean Brill cream buttoned up and a cardigan. Yeah.
You know what's, and I'm going to, again, like a magician, I'm going to show you that this is what I had written on my pad because I was going to ignore the 91.
91. Yeah.
75 and 91. And the reason that's how I do my sevens, like I put the little line.
Oh, you're one of them.
I know. They made us do it in fourth grade or we got a check mark.
I had a guy who used to work for me. He'd do the line underneath the 7, or not underneath, but, down from the top of the 7. And then he'd also take his end of the 7 and turn it down. Like, so he'd put the top part and he'd turn it down. Oh, you're doing that too.
That's how we were taught to do it.
Right, but you're a millimeter away from being a 9. I don't get
I know.
Why do we have different symbols for different things? Like
this was as close as I ever got to a nun rapping me on the knuckles for writing wrong. That's how we had to do 7. So that's kind of how I do them now.
Yeah.
So the reason I wrote 2 different numbers was because I kind of had it just in case it was 2 different questions. Because at first it was, when did the language turn? And I'm thinking, when did things get a little more relaxed? That was probably mid-70s. But when would I have not been as shocked to hear a reporter say it? That's why I wrote 90. So I was kind of answering 2 different questions in my head.
But the marching or the mission statement is what point did our society hear fuck versus buzz? That's the question. What year did everyone watching, not everyone, but more than 50%, hear the word buzz or hear the word fuck versus buzz? Because remember, 1955, everyone heard buzz. 2020, we all heard fuck. I don't even know what he said, but we all heard fuck. When did we
without even knowing buzz was on the table, I heard fuck.
Yeah, except, but if you say, right, so what year? You guys sticking with your years? Because I feel like you guys are reading in some other stuff into this thing. It's just, when did you hear it? Like, everyone heard fuck now, and he may not even said it.
I think it actually 91 makes more sense. First of all, Brian and I were alive, and we could tell, the wind was changing. But I think I would imagine in 1975, if you heard like Cronkite say "fuck," your head would have popped off. Now it just doesn't. If we're in high school or whatever in the 90s, that sounds about right.
You wouldn't have heard him say it. You would have thought he said it because it was ubiquitous.
You wouldn't have thought, right. We would not have thought that.
Right. So,
I say 90s, early 90s.
Well,
early 90s sounds right to me.
All right. So let's see. We had got the political article on Garcetti. We got. Let me do. Where'd that go? Where'd you go, Max Banner? Oh, he's in the other room. All right.
He's there. I just can't see his head.
You got that? Who's got that article, Gina?
Dawson has it.
Oh, Dawson has it. All right. So we might be able to jettison our mayor, but we'll see.
Hot potato.
Los Angeles Mayor Eric Garcetti has long been loyal to Joe Biden and is expected to be rewarded accordingly. In 2020, he endorsed Biden in January when the prognosticators were writing off the former vice president. He will be out of a job in March of 2022 due to term limits and is not ruled out.
Hold on. What if we didn't have term limits? Do you think there's any fucking possible way this city would reelect Garcetti? I mean, it's like
It's impossible to imagine.
it's impossible to imagine. All right.
And has not ruled out leaving early for the Biden administration.
No.
The most likely landing spot?
You know, that's kind of like, I feel like Los Angelinos are going to be like, knock yourself out in D.C. Like, that's what, remember when we worked with Rachel Perry, Baldwin?
I do remember that.
And I remember saying, I didn't enjoy working with Rachel Perry. And so when we were, she got some Fox sitcom or Fox hot sci-fi or something. She's gonna play a doctor in outer space or something.
Oh God, I forgot about that. I completely forgot about
And
that.
I walked into the office, and Brusca, our producer's like, "You want to be gone for 2 weeks? 2 weeks?" And I'm like, let her go. 2 weeks? She can't go for 2 weeks. You can go for 1 week. She can't go for two. It's like, well, it's just like pickups. I'm like, no. Go ahead. That's fine.
You need 3?
Yeah, we'll tough it out. Yes, I feel like we're going to do
You're
that.
kicking him under the table.
Garcetti. Yeah.
The most likely landing spot, but not the only one, is Secretary of Transportation, given his experience as mayor of Los Angeles.
What does that mean? What does that statement mean?
Jim Kelly had a lot of experience in Super Bowls.
That's right. Yeah.
Nice.
0 for 4.
The captain of the Exxon Valdez is going to be the Princess Cruise supervisor now. Like, well, he's got experience behind, driving a ship. Like, does that? I don't know if Politico. I don't know if they're a pro or it doesn't sound that scathing, but just read that last sentence one more time. Los Angeles has the worst traffic in the United States, or maybe the world, or third in the world, or something. Go ahead.
The most likely landing spot, but not the only one, is Secretary of Transportation, given his experience as mayor of Los Angeles.
Given. We have nothing but traffic, and we don't have much public transportation. We don't have the light rails and the monorails and all this kind of shit. What does that mean? And by the way, who's writing this article? Like that's
the byline is Alex Thompson.
Alex Thompson is an insane individual saying, well, what would make him good as transportation secretary? Well, he ran Los Angeles into the ground. It's fucking
Counterpoint,
nuts. Yes.
Does Alec Thompson live in Los Angeles and quietly wants him out ASAP? It's like, this is a great choice, Mr. President-elect. You should really consider it.
It's like hiring an arsonist to be the fire inspector.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. Now, Alex is in D.C., sadly. So it's actually flipped the script because now he's enticing Garcetti. All right. Well, let him mop up this homeless problem. He'll just put the final touches on it. You know what I mean? The paint's almost dry. Just got to pull off the blue masking tape, and it's going to be ready to move in. So let him here's what I don't get about our new form, our new world order. We have a newspaper. They're called the Los Angeles Times. Shouldn't they have reporters saying to Garcetti, like, what the fuck is going on with the homeless problem? I walked out of my office. It's downtown. Right. I tripped over 3 guys, and the next week there were 3 more. What are you doing about it? It's like, what? Why? Where's the reporting?
Yeah, in the pie in the sky, vision of the third estate, the media, it's holding the powerful to account, right? Like they're not doing their job, or they're doing a shady job, or whatever it is, and that is definitely the ball's being dropped here.
Well, we're in a little dangerous crossroads or intersection here, which is like the Los Angeles Times are Democratic. They probably supported whoever endorsed the Democratic candidate. Some of these papers go back like 70 years or something like that. So you can't report a story from the posture of, well, it is our guy, because now you're no longer a reporter. You know what I mean?
You're doing an infomercial.
Yes, I think he's not getting the tough stuff because it's like, well, that's our guy. Well, go ahead and ask your guy some questions. All right. How many years do you think? Well, we've had Reardon and stuff. We had Republican mayor. How long?
I'll bet they've endorsed Republican mayor here or there.
I feel
not as much.
Some of them get on a track, and once they get on it, they just stay on it. I don't know. Max Zapata looked that up. Some of these newspapers, like New York Times and stuff like that, have just been that way for 50 plus years. I think they toggle back, but maybe they do. All right, let me hit Axon Taser. 2020 feels a little unstable. Yes. A little dangerous. Yes. You don't want to live in fear. How about you get yourself a taser? This is a real piece of equipment. You can protect yourself with life-saving self-defense technology. It's a non-lethal self-protection device, small enough to carry with you in your purse or wherever you're carrying stuff, backpack. Powerful enough to incapacitate an attacker. Guns have unnecessary risks, and even pepper spray can harm you as much as the attackers. We have this thing. It is real. We should probably give it to you, Gina, next time you come in.
I'm going to get one.
It is a real piece of equipment. And by the way, you protect your family, protect your wife, protect your kids, and it's the number one choice of law enforcement agencies. Right, Dawson?
Taser is available without a permit in most U.S. states. Get the Taser Pulse Plus or Taser Strike Light at taser.com with promo code Adam. Save 15% now at taser.com, promo code Adam. Taser is spelled TASER.com, promo code Adam. Restrictions apply. See site for details.
I just wrote that down because my taser that is like brass knuckles is now kaput, so I'm going to get one of these.
Good on you. All right, let's see. What were we talking about? Oh, Los Angeles Times. How long have they endorsed Democrats? Oh.
Sorry, I'll let you know when I have that.
All right, let's take a call here. Let's talk to. Someone fucking hold Garcetti's feet to the fire. By the way, here's what enjoyable time I have with my mom. I was like, I know we were talking about how the homeless is just taking over everywhere. And she's like, Reagan closed down those facilities. And I was like, okay, that's 40 years ago. There's
nothing could be done.
Yes, you were a middle-aged woman at the time. There are other things we could do. Yes.
You know what's interesting about that, though, because I didn't really know that. I hadn't heard that until recently. And I didn't realize that when they closed down, this was supposed to be a two-step process. You close down some of the mental institutions and you open these like beautiful halfway house facilities, and they just kind of never did the second part. So yes, in 40 years, they should have been able to button up the second part of that process.
Well, like how they handled Milton's paychecks.
Right.
That's right.
Stop paying him.
He'll realize it eventually and go home.
Well, it was Republican endorsement until 1972.
And then they stopped, and then they resumed endorsements in 2008.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Wow.
All right, let's talk to Brandon. Brandon?
Hey, Ace Man, how are you?
What's going on?
Well, I tweeted you last night because I was this morning I was listening to yesterday's show, and you said you're not all that good at convincing people. I just wanted to tell you, I think your story in and of itself convinces people about, hard work and overcoming poverty and hardships and getting to where you are today.
Well, that's an interesting comment, and it's nice to hear. I'm wondering if there's a difference because I don't have a good batting average of going, look, here's what I need you to do, and here's how you do it. So do it. Or here's what you need to tweak or affect in your life. That's not very good, but the invisible part of just coming from poverty, carving out a good life, having some success, that's probably a little more universal and a little easier to wrap your mind around. And it's a self-selecting group. So if you want to be inspired by it, you may be inspired by it. That's not me coming up to you going, here's what I need you to do, right? that's the people I'm walking up to. So it's interesting. Brandon?
Yeah, and I'm an entrepreneur. I'm actually in the industry as well, but I've started businesses. I've had friends say, "Oh, how did you do that?" And like you said, it's all based on the person receiving the info. I say, "Look, I did it by working 8 hours at my normal job every day, and then I went home and worked another 8 hours on this until, this was sustaining me." And some people are like, "Yeah, I could do that," and others are like, I don't think I could get on board with that type of lifestyle. So it's all about the person who's receiving the advice and how they take it, right?
At least they know.
Well, yeah. I mean, but people do. I remember once I had a friend. Recently he's a musician. And I said, I'm going out every night and just doing or I'm going out 4 nights a week just doing stand-up for free. And, you should hit more of those open mic club whatevers and play music.
Hell yeah.
This is my dad. And he said to me, you can afford to do that, but this guy doesn't work at night. So you could go out for free too.
You could do it.
You could work during the day like I do, and then you could go out at night. But the thing that's interesting about people and their motivation is they have no idea what their motivation is.
Yeah.
I mean, they won't.
Meaning what?
Well, how many people he said like they want to drop a country album or they want to do a audio book or they want to whatever. They say they tell you what they want to do, and whatever road, whatever venue or avenue, I should say, to get to that place, they never go down it.
Sure, they want to be at the finish line. They don't want to do the race.
Right.
And I don't even know if I don't even know what they want. Like they're just saying, I want to write a book, but they never write a book.
Right.
And I was talking to Dr. Drew about this the other day as well. It's like people have a pretty infinite capacity to fuck things up for them, to never do the whatever, to talk about it. Like,
it's much easier.
Well, here's an interesting Creo or I don't know, battle cry or whatever it is. Don't talk about shit you're never going to do. How about that? Because I'm trying to think. Like, I do a lot of stuff, but I don't talk about stuff and then never do it. If I say I want to make a documentary, then I make a documentary. If I said we're going to write a book, like I took 5 years off probably in between writing books. I didn't talk about a book in those 5 years. Mm-hmm. At some point, we got to the end, and I was like, now I'm talking about writing a book.
Yeah.
And I thought, so if you're into it, like even if it's just painting the fascia of your house or something grand, like I'd like to start an airline. Don't fucking talk about it if you ain't going to do it. Wow. By the way, everyone tunes you out. Everyone around you just they're tuning you out.
We all knew that guy. I knew those guys in college. Like, I'm going to do this. And they never fucking did it.
But why don't they know? Here's my new thing. Why don't you know what I know? Do you know what I mean? Why you're telling me you're going to drop this country album for every other time I see you for 9 years? How come you don't think I know something?
They're just convinced that there's points for talking about it. That
exactly.
You get
There's some cachet.
Yeah. Right.
See, you don't get points. You get minus points in my brain. And in your brain, the one who keeps talking about this, you're being satiated.
Yep.
Yes.
It's as if it's like you keep talking about getting ready for a big date, but you never go on the date. So to me, don't talk about it because it's a zero. Now you're throwing good time after bad.
Right.
All right.
And wait, before we move on, I take massive umbrage with the guy who said you can afford to do that. You can afford to go out for free. I have never worked harder in my entire life, and I have a lot of hustles, and I always have. I've never worked harder than 16 years ago when I was working 60 hours a week on Rodeo Drive, was going to comedy class at night, was screening calls for the Nelson Salsa show on KLSX in the middle of the night on weekends, and driving to San Diego to do, because they let me do an hour in the afternoons driving back and getting back in time for my comedy class and in time for my shift the next day on Rodeo. I've never been busier than when I was broke, because that is the time to do it.
Yeah, well, see, people, I don't know. First off, they tie way too much up into money. You know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
Groundlings classes were not cheap when I was taking them. For me, they were $275 or maybe $250. Big. I mean, that was a set of tires for my truck and then some. You know what I mean? Like, this is kind of a durable good. It was like a big ticket item. I also remember distinctly not having car insurance, but yet cutting checks. You know, I could have got comp and collision or something for 4 months, but instead I just gave the money to the Groundlings, and I wasn't making any real money. I was making $10 an hour with taxes being taken out, but I fucking figured out a way to get into that Groundlings class. We do this in food, like we always talk about. Like, you can get good sushi at a good price. You just have to, you got to work it a little bit. Brian knows.
That's right.
All right.
Wait till restaurant week.
Mm-hmm. All right. Let's see. Let me just mow through these last calls. Michael, 24, Indiana. Oh, is that a Mitchell? No, that's a Michael. Yeah. What happened to Mitchell's? All right, Mike. I like that name, Mitch. Tim, 39, Bakersfield.
Hey, what's up, Adam?
Hi, guy.
Hey, man, how's it going?
Good.
I have the greatest story of fake news you've probably never heard of.
All right.
So I'm actually like a semi-wannabe filmmaker, YouTuber. I have a couple 100,000 subscribers on YouTube, but I lead this organization called UFO Seekers in Bakersfield. We're world-renowned. I spent time at Area 51, Roswell, you name it. About 6 nights a week I spend with military equipment watching the sky. So I'm not necessarily an alien believer, probably the first UFO investigator you've ever met.
Are you?
But anyways,
well, I don't know if we've met. Are you a single man?
Back in the beginning when our organization was growing in 2017.
Are you a single man?
Are
you single? I listen to nonstop talk radio, and when people just talk over each other the entire time, first off, I'm dumbfounded by it.
Yeah.
When someone is pissed, like if you listen to Dennis Prager, he takes the people who disagree with him and he puts them on, and they say their piece, and then he goes, all right, now let me address that. And he starts to talk, and they start talking again. And they do it 3 more times. And at some point, he tells the person, I'm going to hang up on you. If you please don't stop. You must stop talking. I must be able to make my point. Then I'll let you speak. And he starts talking, and they start talking over it again. Actually, doing a podcast with Stromer is kind of like that. But
He has a lot to say about salsa dancing.
And then at some point, they get hung up on. It's like, all right, well, you didn't get a word out. No one knows what your point was. You could have had a dialogue. What is that thing?
And the rules were clearly established. It wasn't a surprise.
All right. Do we think Tim's single? Tim?
Or a very understanding spouse.
Hey, buddy. Hey, the volume was just low. I couldn't hear you.
I got you. You single?
No, I'm actually married.
Really? Now,
yes, and I have 3 kids.
This takes a special woman to put up with you sitting on a berm with military equipment all night, looking at Cessnas.
She goes out with me.
Oh, she goes with you.
We're both big Trump supporters, so.
Yeah, but what's that have to do with sitting in the dirt all night? So,
yeah, exactly.
What are all those cockpit videos now we see that look pretty uncanny?
They're drones, and one of them is an F-22.
Oh.
So in 2004, when the Nimitz incident happened, was actually the first year that they were testing the U.S. Air Force F-22 stealth jet fighter. So they had flown it from Edwards Air Force Base, and of course it was a Navy jet who encountered it in a Navy military range and didn't understand what he was looking at.
But the movement seemed like more than was that a Raptor, that F-22?
Correct, but you would be talking about the main video thumbnail that is shown on all of the articles, all of the fake news articles. So if you're talking about the one that had extreme movement, we'd be talking about a tic-tac-shaped object, which is just an autonomous drone that can go from water to air to space. And more than likely, it was the Lockheed Martin ICBM killer, which was made by Japan and us, and it was an object that would intercept ICBM missiles. So if North Korea launched an ICBM, this object can hover, it can spin, it can turn upside down, and it's only 4 feet long, and it can go from water to space. That way it would hit the missile before it would hit us. And just coming after 9/11, Homeland Security was very interested with stuff like that. So, there's no doubt the Navy would be encountering weird autonomous technology. I mean, we had been flying autonomous technology from the 60s. I don't know if you recall, but the SR-71,
Blackbird,
which was a stealth fighter, which is why it was painted black, actually had an autonomous drone, which looked just like a third engine, that would attach between the horizontal or the vertical tail wings. And so the SR-71 would fly up to 70,000 feet. And then in the 60s, they already had radio control technology, and the autonomous drone would detach and fly up to 90,000 feet.
Wow.
So we're talking 50 years later. I mean, come on, bro. The Navy pilot comes back and says he saw aliens. I would really start questioning that guy's mental capabilities.
These are interesting answers to the kind of footage you've seen, the autonomous drones. God, makes you wonder what we got in the works. And what happened to Space Force now? Are they gone if Trump's gone? We still going to have a Space Force?
No, it's still going because it's always been going. I mean, in Vandenberg, that's where they've been flying that X-37B, which is the autonomous space shuttle-looking craft, but is unmanned. And I'm pretty sure they've been flying that to Mars already. So that one's been doing over year-long missions.
Autonomously someone to tweet about that. Hey, Tim, what powers that 4-foot drone that's going to kill the ICBM missiles?
Well, it actually has 30 to 40 miniature satellite jet thrusters. So if you think in space, the satellite has thrusters that face in every direction.
Right.
Now, this tic-tac object on the ends has a globule of 15 thrusters facing all directions. And so that's how the tic-tac can stand on end. And you can just go on YouTube and pull up the video of the Lockheed Martin Japan ICBM killer, and you'll see them testing it inside of a facility, inside of a net. And you'll watch it hover, and then you'll watch it spin. It's amazing.
I'm just gonna look at porn, but appreciate it. All right, it's interesting stuff. Well, it just goes to show there are people who can make arguments against what your eyes may be seeing. But yeah, it makes,
you know what? I would like to volunteer you for something. I think that the whole country or the whole world should know exactly what's in Area 51. No, I do not. Not by a long shot. Would I like to volunteer you to go in and see it all and then distill what you think society can handle? Yes, I would.
I will do that. I saw Independence Day 118 times, so I want to meet that kooky doctor.
Brent Spiner.
Remember that trope, the crazy doctor?
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, they had one. They had one in Midway, I think it was. They know something, but they're so scattered.
No one listens.
Yeah, Michael, 24, Indiana.
Hey, sorry about that. I have my phone on mute.
All right, what's going on?
I just wanted I didn't really have a question. I just want to say I've been a big fan of yours since I was probably too young to watch a man show, but I did anyways.
All right.
Keep up the great work. I just kind of wanted to say that because I feel like everybody needs a little bit of positivity with all the shit going on.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Is this the man show boy?
MSB. Yeah. We had a man show girl, too, but never on camera. There was just this makeup girl, or I don't know, she was a hair girl or something, but she was always there. She was beautiful. Everyone loved her. And she was dubbed the man show girl at some point when we'd be talking about her. All right. Let's see. We're going to take a break. Jeff Ross is coming in at the top of the hour, although no one's got a clock, but I get it. So why don't we take a break, come back, and do the news right after this.
All right.
Give me the news with Grad. News with Gina Grad. Breaking viral. All those crazy Trump tweets. Give me news with Gina Grad. Trouble in the Middle East. Celebrity drunk meltdowns. Need news with Gina Grad.
The news with Gina Grad.
Well, it'll probably be okay that that Ben Carson was diagnosed with COVID, and I think somebody else was just diagnosed at the top of the administration. It's okay because we have great news from Pfizer. I don't know if you saw this today, but pharmaceutical company Pfizer announced some very encouraging news about its development of the vaccine for COVID-19. The latest data shows a 90% effectiveness in preventing the virus after an experimental trial involving 94 participants. Most importantly, there were no serious safety concerns reported, and the trial was given the go-ahead to continue. So now there's there's now also enough data to submit a request for emergency approval to the FDA, which could come later this month, like in a couple weeks. Pfizer CEO Dr. Albert Bourla said today is a great day for science and humanity. So maybe we'll see if it gives you gills or whatever, but it's 90% effective.
Well, all right. So I feel like it's good, but I'm a little over it. Like I needed this news in March or April. Now I'm going.
What about vaccine fatigue?
Yeah. Good. I'm glad we can do this stuff. But I was listening to Randy Wang talking about protocols.
Oh boy, let's hear it.
How it was administered. That's your old colleague.
Yeah.
And he said, I think you go in, you get one shot, then you get like another shot 3 weeks later, and then you have to quarantine for a week. And I remember just driving going, oh, fuck that. Sounds like a fucking hassle. Yeah, I'd rather get the rabies.
Ask Drew this, but is 90% effective? Is that good for a vaccine?
Yes, they were I think the flu ones each year, high 50s or low 70s or 60 or something like that.
30 to 60%.
30 to 60, right? And Fauci or somebody some months on was saying, they were hoping for 70%. So evidently in the vaccine department, it's kind of a coin toss. So, normally a coin toss. Right. This at 90%. I mean, to be
that's a good bet.
20% higher than the number you were hoping for. That your most optimistic number.
Your reach.
Yeah. So good.
This is huge. And just on a side, funny, depends on where you read it, political thing. I have Fox and CNN open all day on my computer, and I watch both at night at the newsroom. And I think one of them said, that Republicans are pissed because, like Cuomo said, this we should hold off on the vaccine until we have a new president, and he doesn't want Trump to get credit for it. And Democrats are pissed because this is happening during Trump's administration. It's like, would you all just shut the fuck up? Christ. This is not about you. This is a vaccine.
I heard that CNN again. I just heard it. I didn't witness it, but they had said that CNN had taken down the body count tally and had put up the Dow Jones or the stock market up there because the stock market was kicking ass. But I was like,
there we go.
That's good. If we can get Biden in there, then CNN can drop the tally with the death toll, and we can get the fuck on with our lives. And then we might even be able to open schools just in time for Christmas. Right.
Yeah. So some bad news for Johnny Depp, but the fight isn't over for him. He has resigned, or was at least asked to resign, and cooperated from the Fantastic Beasts franchise. Big money maker. That is, I think, is it the prequel to Harry Potter? I feel like you'd know, Brian.
It is Harry. It's funny you mentioned that because I was having this conversation how now I'm starting to feel a little old because there are huge popular film franchises that not only do I not have an interest in, I'm not really aware of what they are, like the fucking Chronicles of Narnia and Divergent. I'm like, I don't know what this is. I don't think I want to know. I don't think it's for me. But these are huge moneymakers, and I believe what you're talking about exists in the Harry Potter universe.
Yeah.
It's not for me.
Okay. Noted for next time if I have any Fantastic Beast questions.
I rarely enjoy being swept away, so I don't watch these big epic tales.
So on Instagram, Johnny Depp wrote, I wish to let you know that I've been asked to resign by Warner Brothers for my role as Grindelwald in Fantastic Beasts. I have received respected and agreed to do that. So this move comes a few days after Johnny lost his libel case against The Sun, which published an article in 2018 calling him a wife beater.
Mark Garagos gets apoplectic about these people. Like, why did you sue The Sun? You know all this shit's gonna come out. You just go home, keep it zipped. You know, like he does a lot of that. Why? You know, it's like, why is Kathy Griffin given a press conference? Why not just wait 10 days? No one will be talking about it anymore. But now you got to go up. You got to start screaming and crying, explaining you feel threatened and you're being followed. And now it's all back on the news. Like, why?
Well, that's a good question, especially from a lawyer. But Warner Brothers says this role is going to be recast. The film will debut in the summer of 2022. But this may answer your question at least a little bit. In his statement, Johnny added, "The surreal judgment of the court in the UK will not change my fight to tell the truth. And I confirm that I plan to appeal. My resolve remains strong, and I intend to prove that the allegations against me are false. My life and career will not be defined by this moment in time." So if you think that you got some crazy chick calling you a wife beater and setting you up, what length would you go to fight that?
Well, first off, attorneys are so goddamn expensive. You always have to sadly factor how much your attorneys are charging. It's an insane amount of money. By the way, that was written or created by J.K. Rowling, who wasn't she in trouble for saying that men should race men and women should race women in a foot race or something? Like, very controversial statement. Anyway,
I figured she'd get canceled first before Johnny, but
well, she doubled down with like just kind of obvious stuff that people took a lot of offense to, like talking about how only women can have periods and what a novel idea is that. And she just really kind of wouldn't. She really wanted her feelings on this to be clear, and now everyone hates her.
She got fuck me money.
She got fuck me money. I love her. And also, there is a good sign, which is people putting something. So think about this. 3 years ago, 18 months ago, if you put something out on social media and got a whole bunch of flack coming your way, you just take it down. Or you just apologize. Now, there's an ever-growing group of brave Americans who are just going, fuck off. That didn't exist 3 years ago, or maybe even less. There's more people sort of standing by their shit after they get this huge reaction from our society.
She's one of them.
Yeah, she's one of them. Wasn't she? Was she homeless or something? Was she really?
She was like
destitute.
Living out of her car.
She was like a struggling waitress or something. Yeah.
She's
very,
worth
very
$500 million probably.
I'm going to tell you,
very struggling blue collar.
I'm going to tell my kids to spend a night in the car when they're 17. It'll be parked in the garage. But then if they ever hit it big, they can tell the story. It's like, I had to live out of my car. Everyone's impressed. Look, you know why? Everyone who lived out of their car. Jewel, she lived out of her car. Like, I don't know.
Eventually make it.
I don't know anything about Jewel, but I know she lived out of her car.
Dan Dawson lived in his car.
Dan Dawson.
My father.
Oh, your dad. That Dan Dawson.
Dan Dawson.
Not the acoustic guitar strummer? Really?
Yeah, he was able to get a car and live in it.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
J.K. Rowling signed up for welfare, but she described her status as being poor as it is possible to be in modern Britain without being homeless. So she was it's right there.
All right.
Okay.
But, my thing is I would hate living out of my car, but if Jewel was living out of my car with me, I would
improve your situation.
Yes. Yeah. And if Dan Dawson was there, it'd be a total buzzkill. Chain smoking, cock blocking. Talking about Leonard Skinner.
He would have been a 15-year-old kid at the time, so it would have been worse.
Oh, we got a clip from Dan Dawson. Hold on a second.
Wipe that look off your face, move over, and make room now.
In the car. Perfect.
That's right.
All right, let me hit truff here. Sauce. It's not a condiment. It's the main event. Truff. Oh, this stuff is so good. Everyone's devouring it over here. But they're not all created equal. Truff, that's Truff. F is in fantastic. It's a luxury hot sauce. Makes every meal 5 stars. Signature blend of red chili, black truffle, organic agave nectar, and savory spices. I was just eating this stuff out in the hall before I came in. The truffle does it, man. It is so good. Oh, I can tell you, I ruined. You want to know heartache? I ruined a bowl of homemade chicken soup. Olga made a small pot. She's like, Adam, I want you to have this chicken soup. And I was like, okay. And I heated up the bowl of chicken soup. And we had this stupid hot sauce, like a novelty hot sauce from some podcast or something that was like sitting there. And it's shaped exactly the same as a regular bottle, like the Tabasco. It's like it's shaped like the Tabasco, but it doesn't have the goddamn little plastic thing in the top.
Right, the little
yes,
hexagonal.
Right. So
yeah.
I unscrew it, turn it over, and give it like one hard shot, and it just blasts out the entire bowl of chicken soup, and it tasted like ass. I wish I had the truff at my house. By the way, God, over 10,000 5-star reviews, best-selling sauce on Amazon and Whole Foods nationwide. It's Truff, right, Dawson?
See for yourself why Truff is the biggest hot sauce on Instagram and TikTok. Get 10% off site-wide when you use promo code Adam at Truff.com. It's 10% off everything, including White Truff VIP box and Truff variety pack. Just in time for the holidays, just shop at Truff.com. That's Truff. F is in fantastic.com and use promo code Adam.
All right. What do you got, Gina?
A celebrity has come out against some of the new decriminalization laws in Oregon, and you might be surprised by who it is.
What's Scott Baio up to these days?
Jim
I said
Belushi?
surprised. Yes. So TMZ reports Steve O thinks Oregon's new law legalizing drugs is going to create enormous problems because he thinks it opens the door for young people to become addicts. So we've talked to him about this at length. He says to TMZ that anyone looking to do coke or meth or hard drugs, they'll find a way. It doesn't matter if it's legal or not. But with Oregon recently voting to decriminalize possessions of small amount of coke, heroin, oxycodone, and meth, Steve-O worries the new law may make it seem like it's okay for kids to try coke and meth. And he understands the court system can't handle every single case involving small amounts of drugs. He thinks that we've got to pay close attention to Oregon to see if it gets worse or if it gets better.
Well, this is the most anyone's ever talked about Steve-O in the last 7 years, so that's good. I like Steve-O. I mean,
I do too.
He knows firsthand about addiction. I mean,
Yeah.
he told the story on our show. Yeah, there's it's an experiment, and you can't say it does work or it doesn't work, but I can tell you basically the new kind of progressive, Oregon's going to be this way, but any city, it's like a progressive city. The new technique for getting rid of a problem or handling a problem or lessening a problem is like going, I look, I know I'm a broken record with this, but if young black men are getting suspended at a higher rate, you cannot fix the problem by going, stop suspending young black men. I mean, they won't be suspended, but you're not helping. You're not helping them. Look at the homeless situation. Like we just went, we don't want to bother them or leave them be. It didn't correct anything. It didn't fix anything. It just got you more homeless. So some stuff kind of works that way. I think, like you go, well, in the red light district, now you have these women and they're licensed and they see a physician once a week.
They're bondaged.
And yes, licensed and bondaged. Right. So like there's a version of it, but it's easy to fuck up. We kind of just, or again, like petty thievery, which, a misdemeanor versus, what's it again?
Felony?
A felony, sorry. you raise it up to $995 and everyone just steals everything under $995. Like, you didn't fix that problem. You just got more people motivated to do X, Y, or Z. So it'll be interesting. But we are at this weird phase where like, let them out of prison, or don't prosecute them, or leave them alone. It's like, okay, look at the homeless. You just look the other way. It's kind of interesting too. Like when I was watching the news the other day, right around the election in Beverly Hills was getting like, they were getting ready to go to war. They're like, we hired we hired private security. We got our people. They all just said, and it's like, oh yeah, Beverly Hills not going to get looted. No, they're not. It's like, well, why not? Well, because they have dudes there and they got guns and pepper spray and tank cars, and they said no. Like, people can be motivated. Everyone is going to go from Beverly Hills, they just go right down Wilshire to Santa Monica, and we'll loot Santa Monica. Like, it's a path of least resistance kind of thing. All right.
Yeah, I think we talked about the other day about that the money from weed sales in Oregon is supposed to go to rehabilitation. So this is interesting. Yeah, we just got to see where it goes.
Yep.
Have you heard of the Tesla Tequila, and have you seen the bottle?
I've seen the bottle.
I've not.
Show Adam the bottle. They've launched their own Tesla Tequila as of Thursday.
Wow.
It retails for $250 on Tesla's website. It comes in this like lightning shaped bottle. Kind of looks like a oversized like perfume bottle. And it's produced by Nosotros.
Yeah.
Nosotros Tequila, which is a brand here in Southern California. They sold out like very quickly, and orders were limited to 2 bottles each, only made available to customers in certain parts of the U.S. Earlier this year, the company took to selling those little mini red gym shorts on their website for $70 a piece. So you're going to get some collector's items every once in a while from Tesla.
Well, maybe they're starting their own Goop page like Gwyneth Paltrow did, instead of buying, $8,000 cat condos. We get some fucking tequila. But I'm looking. The bottle's amazing looking, and it's got the bolt, kind of
the stand, like a stainless steel stand.
Yeah, you'd have to. Looks a little brushed aluminum, but that's fine. Okay. The point is you would have to, you would have to. God, look at the front of Shazam's. Or it's kind of an Elvis taking care of business. Like Elvis had his TC.
Yep.
Yeah.
TCB?
Yeah, TCB had that. I think he had that kind of lightning bolt.
Insignia.
Yeah. Well, there's the lightning bolts that have some angle to them, like the ZZ Top car keys kind of then, and then there's the ones that just go straight across. But anyway.
I think there's also some that are a little Third Reich-y.
Yeah.
So don't get 2 of those next to each other.
Here's the problem. You can't have a bottle that comes down to a point and defies all logic and gravity, even if it has a nice little stand, if you're going to be drinking tequila. Because someone's going to fucking knock that thing right over. Yeah. They're going to be talking, and next thing you know, they're going to go, I was a pretty good outside linebacker in high school. And then the guy's going to swing around, and his hand's going to hit it, and you're fucked. Yeah, there it is.
Good point.
It's good looking.
Yeah.
I guess that's 750 milliliter, right? Like, aren't they all just?
That's what it said.
It did. I didn't even see it, but that's
on the page.
That's like the standard. All right, let's do one more.
All right. Okay, let's do this. 3 toys have been inducted into the National Toy Hall of Fame. And I have them here. I won't make you guess because there's about 1 billion toys on the market. The 2020 inductees are Jenga, Baby Nancy, and Sidewalk Chalk. They're the top 3 vote getters of the 12 finalists that were announced back in September.
Sidewalk Chalk.
That counts?
Yeah, as a toy.
It is?
It beat out Light Bright, which I loved, My Little Pony Risk, and Yahtzee.
Wow, there's a big backlog of popular toys.
Light Bright, turn on the magical spark.
Oh, no. I got Light Bright, making things with light. Out of sight, making things with Light Bright. So you got an updated version.
Yeah.
Light Bright, making things. These are all the many things that plugged in and brought joy. So I knew my neighbors, the Graviches, had a light bright, but we never did. You know, I'll tell you the most pathetic burnt offering ever is the board game or the light bright or the whatever has that my mom would get at the thrift store. It's like, oh, now we got a board game. But we're missing the hotel, and we're missing the shoe, and we're missing the iron. Like you could not. First off, no one gives away a board game unless it's a piece of shit and there's a bunch of stuff missing from it. That's why no one ever goes like, hey, it's a perfectly good Parcheesi board. I'm going to walk it down to the Goodwill. Like no one ever said that. And the cardboard gets mildewy. You know, it's that weird, like corners. It's like a little rain, got a little moist out there, and so you could get a used light bright, but it's got scubba all over it, and it's missing
4 pegs left.
It's missing,
it's already
missing
been
the pegs. Theme, come on, we got to find the theme to light bright, Dawson. So your theme, go ahead, you do your theme.
Mine is light bright, turn on the magical sparkling light. That's from like the mid to late 80s.
Mine would be light bright, making things with light, out of sight, making things with light bright. That's the one I remember.
Wow.
Dawson's hard at work over there. All right, let me hit.
I'm sorry. Can I tell you why Sidewalk Chalk made it? The quote is, "There are few limits to what kids can do with chalk." Okay.
Yeah.
I nailed it.
Yeah. Well, by the way, guess what else is that way? Your fucking imagination. Could you imagine if you got that for Christmas? What'd I get this year? The gift of imagination. Like, are you kidding me?
Here's the light
Actually,
bright theme
Bali.
from the 70s.
There must have been like a Slinky and a Tinker toy that was killed by a lawn dart and couldn't make it into the Hall of Fame.
Oh, I'm sure Slinky's already in.
Oh, okay. Here we go.
Light Bright, the toy that lets you create
Got a
beautiful
groove.
pictures with light. Work with colorful pegs that glow with light. Light bulb not
Hey,
included.
Chris?
People, animals,
Yeah.
and with heat build.
We're all enjoying ourselves about now.
I
Turn it up.
Yeah.
Ah,
You
harmony.
can make lots of pretty pictures with Light Bright from Hasbro.
Yeah, you don't do the written copy part of it.
Don't be insane.
Just
I wouldn't do
light
that.
bright, making things with light. And people think
Here's
it was
the
all
80s.
some metaphor.
This is mine.
On the magic of colored lights. Light bright, make a face to glow at night. Smiling friends, shining bright. Make
Doesn't have
a
the
sign
groove.
to say goodnight.
Just pop in the colored pegs and follow the patterns.
Same
It's easy
VO
to
guy.
make your favorite
Is
pictures
it?
and
Well,
characters.
you would know.
or
Yeah, you
can
got
always
that.
create your own light pictures.
Light bright, turn on the magic of shining lights.
I think I like mine better.
I do too.
That had to be a difficult conversation when you called in the duo, the female, and called them in and goes, hey, we're thinking about going a different direction, you know, after 14 years of your original theme. So,
All right, great. What are we doing?
What'd you say? We?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
what-
got
what's
some
the-
things
what's
worked
what's
out.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
We're excited to get working on this new theme.
Let's give you a little taste. So, Mitch, you just do your light bright like that.
Light bright.
Light bright.
Light bright.
It's good.
Let's just do it. It's a demo. We're working it
Yeah.
out.
You know, it's been a hell of a 16-year run. I did
how?
hear some word on the street that the Don't Spill the Beans guys were looking for a new theme. Now, I'm not saying they are. I didn't hear it from me, but that could be some work for
There's a
you
lot
guys.
of up-and-comers who would appreciate that.
Yeah,
no,
and
I mean, they're like they're looking for a savvy veteran of Hasbro.
well, hold on, Mitch. This could be something for us. This could be the
Okay.
spill the beans, making things with spilled beans.
Yeah.
Beans,
Turn
beans,
on the
beans,
beans and the
beans,
beans with
beans,
still
beans,
beans.
Yeah.
beans,
Well,
beans,
see, that's not. I have a department. It's not the no spill the beans or don't spill the beans department. That's up the hall. But I can introduce you to Sharon if you want.
They're here in the same building?
Oh yeah, we do way more than one game.
We'd be foolish not to just take a walk down there and introduce ourselves.
Yeah.
We've been working harder, not smarter.
Yeah, we're the light bright duo.
We might be looking for something that might need to freshen up operation or don't break the ice. Or
okay,
we could do that.
I'm also
Break the ice, making things with broken ice.
also thinking about toss across, where you throw the bean bags across the thing and you play checkers or no, you play tic-tac-toe with a bean bag. So there's a lot of
favorite,
potential stuff, but obviously we're going a different direction with the light bright thing.
Yeah, and by the way, guys, you got the number of the old VO guy we used? We probably use him again.
Yeah, we want that guy back.
But I thought you were freshening things up. You wanted to.
We're going
starting clean.
We're going a different direction.
Well, that sounds like the same direction.
Yeah,
but it's different.
Just minus us.
Yeah, this young group's got a young, hot, fresh face. 14-year-old named Debbie Gibson.
Never heard of him.
No one has. But I tell you, that kid's got it. Okay.
Yeah, right.
And
I don't know what this Deborah
her
Gibson
name
has that we
15
don't
years.
have.
That's why we're looking to go a little different direction. So go ahead and there's pickup sticks. We got toss across. We got all the
Mousetrap.
Mousetrap. Just go down there. I'm not going to walk with you. As a matter of fact, let's just have you escorted into the parking lot. But on the way out, you should sing the theme. Let me hear it again, Dawson. It has a kind of groovy 60s kind of vibe to it.
It's got a Summer of Love feel to it, yeah.
Good bass
You
line.
sound great, Cheryl.
Light Bright, the toy that lets you create beautiful pictures with light.
I don't think they were beautiful.
Work with colorful pegs that glow with light, light bulb not included. Make people, animals, things, and with refills, Bugs Bunny or Bozo the Clown.
License.
You can make lots of pretty pictures with Light Bright
I think
from Hasbro.
I think it's a sign of a bad childhood when you know 100% of the theme songs and the jingles for every fucking piece of good fast food or every product out there, but owned zero of the product.
Oh, yeah. That's a
Tasted
bad twist.
zero.
Yeah, now it's just cruel, right? I mean, I heard this Light Bright commercial when I was 10. I know it. It's not like I warmed up or checked something online. That's the Light Bright song. All right, let me hit Madison Reed. Mister, are you working from home? Oh, you want to get your hair cleaned up? How about it, man? Madison Reed. They've been around for a while. They make great products for women, and now they're making great products for men. It's a gray blending, natural-looking color. You can use it in your hair. You can use it in your beard. You can use it wherever you want that. You want a little more pepper and a little less salt. So you go to their website, get the color that matches your hair, match it up, quick and easy, apply the gel, let it sit about 10 minutes, do the activator, rinse it off. Works like a charm. It's Madison Reed Mister, right, Dawson?
Go to MadisonReedMister.com. That's MadisonReedMR.com. And use code Adam10 for 10% off, plus free shipping on your first box. Again, that's code Adam10.
Well, there you go. Should we bring it home, Gina Grad? Or did
Let's bring it home. I'm Gina Grad, and that's the news.
Gina Grad.
That was the news with Gina Grad.
All right. Jeff Ross, for a little one-on-one, is going to jump in with us right after this break. First, 15 seconds for Simply Safe. Simply Safe. No long-term contracts, no hidden fees, no installation costs. Get free home security camera when you purchase your Simply Safe system at simplysafe.com/Adam. All right, we'll talk to Jeff Ross right after this. All right, we're here live. Yes, hi, Jeff Ross. Live on stereo with Jeff Ross. So thanks for joining us, buddy. So here's
yeah.
Well, so here's the interesting thing. Mike August talked to the stereo guys, and they said, "Do you know Jeff Ross?" And we said, "Of course we know Jeff Ross." And he said, "Oh, because he's just killing it. He's putting out so much material." So here we are. Where are you?
I'm sitting in my house here in sunny Los Angeles today, enjoying a great afternoon, getting to talk to one of my oldest buddies.
Yeah. When did we first meet, Jeff?
We met at a retreat for the Man Show. No, before that. What am I talking about? We met through Jimmy Kimmel. I picked you, Nana. Behave. You know, she has a thing. My dog has a thing about Jimmy. She barks whenever I mention his name. Let me go in the other room. You and I drove out to Jimmy's house in the valley to go to watch a fight on pay-per-view.
My dog does that if I say Jimmy Fallon, so maybe there's something in the water. Yeah, so we drove out to Jimmy's rental house out in the deep valley, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
I was always impressed by you guys had this connection right away. You were letting me into your little love circle.
Well, let's talk about the Man Show retreat, because that's one of the most insane things ever. Was that in Santa Barbara?
Okay. I can't. We all drove out, I think, in a big van on that first one, or we met there.
Yeah. What it was is Dr. Drew and I were doing colleges, and we did University of Santa Barbara. And so I said, I can go on the Man Show retreat, but I'm doing a show Saturday night with Dr. Drew. And then we all drove out. Me and Drew just did the show. And then after the show, we went to, raise a little hell. You remember going to the frat house?
I don't remember. I had a bad back, so I don't think I actually went in. I think I had to stay outside.
Was there a story with the masseuse and Breaking Wind?
I don't know if I was stressed or hurt, but we were playing football and I hurt my back and I had to hire I didn't know you guys as well as I know you now. And I hired a masseuse to come in and rub my back during the retreat. And in the middle of the massage, cousin Sal, Jimmy's cousin Sal, one of my besties now, but at the time he was just a troublemaker. And he basically, a guy who invented Asperger's. Right. He was the first maniac who would do anything to get a laugh from Jimmy and you. And Sal busted in and started interrupting the massage. This woman was mortified, but I thought there was a good fart in there somewhere. But I'll tell you the thing that's kind of interesting is Jeff, and I should give him the plug, by the way, Thick Skin with Jeff Ross, available on Apple Podcasts and YouTube as well. And you can follow him on the Stereo app at Jeff Ross. At Jeff's core is a very sweet, likable, affable, sort of the opposite of the roast master, or what most people would think. Oh. So, well, there's certain guys are just kind of sweet guys. Like they're just nicer than other guys. Jeff is that guy. So Jeff would be sincere and earnest. And then Sal, I remember, what I remember from that all these 20 years ago? Here's what I remember. Yeah. You were getting a rub down. Sal come running in there, start farting and screwing around with people. And you said something to this effect to Sal, come on, this woman's a professional. You were making a case for the masseuse, but almost from come on, where's your dignity? I said this is a married woman, and you're a bunch of guys walking in on her, or something to that effect. Like anything was going to stop him from messing with me.
Did we go on?
It's a lifelong friendship with the Man Show universe, and since then, and because you're new to stereo, I wanted to try something with you, Adam. And
yes,
you can volunteer for this or not, but
I'll volunteer for it.
Since we've been friends for so long, and we've done roasts together now. We've roasted Hugh Hefner together. We roasted Alec Baldwin together.
And Pam Anderson too, I think.
Mm-hmm. And Pam Anderson, which was, basically set my career off because that was such a great roast. And Jimmy Kimmel, our pal, hosted it, and Sarah Silverman was on that show, and Courtney Love, and it was one of the greatest roasts of all time. And I think we could tell some roast stories today. But I've been doing something on stereo which allows the listeners, our fans, kind of in on the joke, called Roast the Host. In other words, if you're listening right now and you have a good roast joke on me, or Adam, if he's up for it, we'll hit the buttons. We'll hit the buttons and let you guys carry some of the comedy today and we'll just see how thick our skin is, Adam, to see if we can take it.
Well, if they're good, I think, what is the component? You want to roll right into it, or you want to try to explain what makes a good roast show?
I love the way you break things down more than anyone in the world.
Wow.
What makes a good roast joke? My quick take, and I'm curious about yours, is the economics of the language. The shorter the joke, the better. I like a joke that sums up the whole thing. Like Sandra Bernhard, I wouldn't fuck you with B. Arthur's dick. What is it? 6 words? And it's a joke on 2 people,
My roast feeling is it has to be something like if you're doing Pam Anderson or Alec Baldwin or whoever you're doing, it has to be something that's universally recognized. Like everyone goes, oh yeah, I know that, but no one else has ever said it. So that's the key. When I was Mr. Burcham mania from K-Rock in the mid 90s, the reason that character was so successful is because he played a horrible shop teacher from junior high, and everyone went, I've had that guy. I had Mr. Woodson when I was in the 9th grade. So it was universal recognition. No one had ever done, there'd never been an SNL sketch with a shop teacher. So you have universal recognition and no one's ever done it.
It makes it a perfect home run, right? It makes it a killer joke.
Yes, if you tell a joke, if you're talking about Alec Baldwin and you say something that everyone understands and then say something no one's ever heard, that's a killer joke.
I search for for common denominators. In other words, if everyone knows something about everybody, then the joke can be shorter because it needs less setup. If everyone knows Alec Baldwin hit somebody over a parking spot, I don't have to go, and that time you hit somebody at a parking spot. Or if everyone knows Donald Trump played, Alec Baldwin plays Donald Trump, you don't have to. That would be better than an obscure movie reference that no one gives a shit about.
There's also a strategy part of the game, part of the roast. Like when are you going, who you going behind. I remember when we were doing the Alec Baldwin roast, they kept feeding me these jokes because I think Blake Griffin was going before me. And they kept feeding me these jokes about unfunny, but he was funny. And I was sitting there going, what if he kicks ass? Then I got a big pile of jokes about how unfunny Blake Griffin is. And ironically, my unfunny jokes are less funny than his fucking fair to middling jokes. I'm not going up there with a bunch of, also, it's a little disrespectful, but Blake killed it. And I'm glad I didn't have 4 how he was unfunny jokes queued up in the prompter. So there's strategy, right?
Yeah, Blake Griffin was a good sport. Caitlyn Jenner was at that one. She was a good sport. I can't remember my jokes, but they were probably the most vicious jokes. And then you did a nice run about free speech, essentially, and kind of capped the whole thing off in a really nice way. And roasting, it might be over, Adam. I've been thinking a lot about this, and maybe this is a question I'm going to ask you, but not ask you to answer yet, because I want you to think about it. Roasting, it might be over. People are such snowflakes. People are so sensitive right now. I'm not sure people could take it. And even if you could get an Arnold Schwarzenegger or a Rosie O'Donnell to sit in the hot seat, could the fans take it?
I think people love that format. I do think they love that format. And maybe the line has moved a little bit, but people love a roast formatically. And, and it's kind of weird. I don't know if you ever think about the different forms of comedy, but like a single cam sitcom, either it's good or it's not. You know what I mean? It's either going to be good or it's not, but it's not the format that you're attracted to. Here's how you know a roast is a good format for comedy. Where else could you take, a dignitary from Washington, D.C. or Caitlyn Jenner this guy, that guy, whatever. Have a bunch of guys write him jokes, feed it to him with a teleprompter, and it's still pretty good.
Right.
Would that ever work?
That's true.
Think about how strong the format is to support that. But
That's
I got a good.
point. I mean,
I got a joke they cut of mine that I tell in my stand up every once in a while.
oh yeah, I'd love to hear it.
All right. Sean Hayes brought me up, and I said, Sean Hayes, he's Will and Grace. Will and Grace is back on the air, by the way. So, Sean, what a comeback. Incidentally, comeback was Sean's nickname in high school.
Roast the host here live on stereo.
All right, here we go.
Now you're getting warmed up, baby. Now you're getting warmed up.
Mm.
This is Jeff Ross and Adam Carolla live on stereo. This is Roast the Host. Everybody, come on, hurt our fucking feelings.
Yep.
Yo, Jeff, you look like you job interview retards at Goodwill.
Sorry.
His cadence was a little
We're off
weird.
Big fan of you guys both. Well, definitely Adam Carolla. Would love to have the chance to talk to either one of you guys. Have a great show. Shout out to all the listeners. Shout out to the floating heads. Enjoy the show, guys.
All
Here we
right,
go.
all right, we get it, the prophet. I like talking to Adam on stereo because it's the only time I can talk to him and I don't have to see his teeth.
By the way, we are live on stereo for people. I didn't think any roast jokes for you, Jeff. Although I do remember.
I didn't either. I'm just looking at your fucking avatar going, why aren't the eyebrows 4 times bigger? They don't have a unibrow avatar.
Oh no, they told me they're running short on pixels this month, so they couldn't do my full brow. I don't know if it was just bullshit. I don't know anything about computers. But he said because of the embargo or something, COVID or something, that they're having trouble with their pixel shipments.
You know, they got to update the app for a unibrow if you're going to be on this app.
Yeah, or steal a mustache. Because you could.
Can you move the Fu Manchu up to the eyebrows?
Yeah, you just tweak it a little bit. Yeah, you could use like, oh God, who am I trying to think of as a great mustache? Sam.
John Bolton.
Sam who?
Sam Elliott?
Sam Elliott.
Sam Elliott. Sorry, we couldn't hear the guys. Yeah.
That's a great mustache.
That's a great stash. So
that's a good one. That's a good one.
Jeff, I did your show, The Burn. What year did we do that show?
I would guess it was about 8 years ago.
Was it that long ago? Yeah.
Maybe it was probably about 8 years ago now.
It was a fun show to do, but I just kind of showed up and I thought we were going to like freeform it, but it turned out okay, but it's hard to freeform a roast. You got to write shit down.
Yeah. The only one who could really freeform it was Patrice O'Neill.
Mm-hmm.
He closed the Charlie Sheen roast on Comedy Central, and he didn't like his script because he was kind of a late ad, and he just went on at the end. And I gave him the note. I said a little pep talk right before. I said, if you don't like your jokes and they feel stale, then just make some mental notes and roast the roast. Go on at the end and make fun of everything you saw earlier. And that's what he did. And that's the best way to sort of freestyle a roast.
The, let's see, it was Gregory. Who was it? Who did the roast? The Hugh Hefner. We did the Hugh Hefner roast.
Right.
Just a few weeks
right
after
9/11.
Right after 9/11. And Dick Gregory did like 20 minutes or 25 minutes, but it wasn't really a free form roast. It was a little more I know Martin Luther King kind of thing, which not as funny as making fun of Pam Anderson's fake tits, you know. So I do remember remember that. And the guy who stole the show was Gilbert Godfrey in that one, remember?
Right. He did the aristocrats joke at the end of the show.
He did.
He did his too soon moment. He had his famous too soon moment when Gilbert's holding the podium and he's like, it was already a night. Just don't forget, like the World Trade Center is still smoldering. We're only a few miles uptown at a fancy hotel, and we did away with the after party. We gave the money to the Twin Towers Fund. Like we had good intentions, but it went so off the rails. And Jimmy Kimmel did a good job of holding it together. But when Gilbert went up at the end, he said, "Sorry, I was late getting here. My plane had a connection at the Empire State Building."
Oh yeah, yeah, it was crazy to say that back then.
And somebody yelled out "too soon," and that's when the "too soon" thing kind of started.
Oh really? That kicked off. You said Jimmy did a good job holding it together, but he wasn't hosting that one, was he?
Oh yeah.
Oh, he was.
Yeah, he was.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he was. Right. He had the first 9/11 joke. Right out of the gate, he kind of. Cedric the Entertainer was there. It was also my buddy Rich Eisen always likes to remind me that everybody who became big on TV was there, like Stephen Colbert, Stephen Carell. There was a lot of other, like Patty Hearst was there.
Yeah.
I think obviously Donald Trump, I believe, was there.
That was at a nice hotel, right?
At the New York Hilton.
At the Hilton, yeah. I remember.
Yeah.
I remember. I didn't know Jimmy was hosting it. I thought he was just a roaster. I didn't know he was a hoster back then.
He did great.
Yeah, he
did great.
He's good at delivering. He doesn't show up late and kind of go off, half baked. He's really got a lot of like good student in him, and so he'll write stuff down and memorize it and commit it to memory, and like he shows up. He doesn't take this stuff. A lot of comedians can be a little lazy sometimes. They go, well, I'm just going to go out there and I think the best will happen, and it doesn't happen. Jimmy's not that way. Jimmy
prepares.
Oh my God, does he prepare? God, Jimmy.
Well, that's what roasting is, Adam.
It is.
It's going to battle. You got to bring your A game. You don't bring a knife to a gunfight. You're going to show up in a form like what we're doing today. We're having fun. It's the middle of the afternoon. We're letting off some steam. But if I'm going to go to a proper roast, if somebody says Justin Bieber says I want to be roasted, I'm going to watch his videos. I'm going to read everything I can read, and I'm going to do it like method roasting. I'm going to go inside his brain, inside the fan's brain, and come out the other side almost like method acting. You got to live with it for a while. When we were roasting Alec Baldwin, I hung up his picture in every freaking room of my house. I read his damn autobiography. Wow. I became a fucking expert.
Now what? Now you just know a shitload about Alec Baldwin, and there's nowhere to go.
Folks, if you're just tuning in, can I play radio DJ for a second?
Go ahead.
America, Europe, if you're just tuning in, this is Jeff Ross and Adam Carolla. This is Roast the Host, live on stereo. Everybody gets their 15 seconds of fame here on stereo.
Mr. Jeff Ross, how you doing? Doing all right? All right.
I'm good.
How you doing, Adam Carolla?
Doing well.
Good. All right.
Give me time to answer.
I do not want to roast the host, but I'm about to roast somebody in about 15 minutes. I mean, roast the shit out of them. It's just what I do sometimes, but I'm sorry, I don't mean to keep y'all, but carry on. Much love to y'all.
What the fuck was that? A threat? Come on, straight facts. You could do better than that.
By the way,
gentlemen, what's going on? Long-time listener, one of your oldest fans since back during your 12 a.m. sex fucking talk badass shows. Oh my God, guys, the memories.
Yeah, I see. Big fan of yours, Adam.
See, you can't have civilians do things. Like, this plan? Here's your plan. It's equivalent to this and expecting a different outcome. It's like we said, I got this new idea. It's called civilians roofing my house. And we'll wait for people to come walking down the sidewalk. And then you grab the person and you go, ever work with a 3-tab shingle? And they went, huh? No. And then they just kept walking. What would your batting average be? You see what I'm saying? You are asking civilians to do a job you have honed, crafted, and worked this down to a fine razor's edge, and you're asking high people to call in and roast us, and evidently it's not going to work.
I'm telling you, it's going to work. You have to have faith.
Okay.
Roasting it's not, look, you got to be good, but it's also cathartic. You don't have to be great. You just have to try. We can critique the jokes, too. You'll get a few people that are...
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. Although I like people being great.
Come on.
Okay.
Yeah, well, sometimes you get great ones, especially,
right.
My fans. Your fans are going to want to tell you how they're going to want to blow you through the stereo app.
Yeah,
With me, they're
they
going
are.
to want to roast me.
All right. Jeff, how high are you right now?
Boy Juan Rios from Illinois.
I just took my first hit of the day, Adam.
All right,
You called me out.
so
You got
pretty high. Okay.
So the first hit cuts the deepest. You know that.
Mm-hmm.
And it helps. It helps the jokes. I get sensitive. So if somebody slams me, at least I'm laughing about it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm going to hit some of these. Here we go. Roast the host live on stereo.
Hello. Good evening. Adam Carolla. Shouts out to you. Jeff, what's up, my man? It's your boy Jersey Worthy just tapping in saying hello. And Adam, I would definitely have to agree. I mean, at the end of the day, after chopping it up a little bit with Jeff for a while, it's a good dude, humble dude, very, down to earth. Good guy, for sure. So I'd have to definitely concur with that assessment. Anyway, just spreading some good vibes. Stop.
All right, Jersey.
I stand by my original example of asking people pushing shopping carts if they can put a roof on your house.
They're getting warmed up, Adam. Have some faith. They're getting the feel of it. There's a lot of people who want to roast us, I promise.
All right.
Hey, Adam. I've been a big fan for a long time. I've always been a little confused at how right-wing you are. I'm curious what Jeff is and what he thinks of your political beliefs.
Oh boy, this is hot
The one
roast
reason
talk.
These are messages are from the beginning when we just said
okay.
hi. So
Well,
we're working our way to the roast ones,
Well,
but please feel free to answer.
Let me address this. I think about this all the time. I did a show called Loveline 25 years on the radio. I defy you to find me one of my opinions from fucking 25 years ago that's changed at all. At all. And I fucking completely reject this, like, right-wing policies. I'm fucking pro-gay marriage, pro-pot, pro-fucking everything. I don't want your shitty government fucking up my life. That doesn't make me a right-winger. Not in the NRA. I don't have guns. I don't give a fuck who gets married or what they ingest. It's their business. But I do have thoughts about not giving away 50% of the fucking money I own to an inept government who flushes it down the toilet. So if that makes me right-wing, then so be it. But I challenge you. I gave every single one of my opinions 25 years ago. Go find one. Go find one that's changed.
Fire. I love it, man.
Oh, I'm so tired of everyone.
Adam.
It's like, you assholes, if someone just disagrees with His Highness, like, oh, you're right-wing talking points. There's no fucking nothing right-wing about me. It's insane. Or whatever. You just design this new thing called right wing, and then you hang it up, hang it on me like, oh, you're right winger. No, I'm not. By the way, I like conservatives a lot more than I like progressives. If the towns that have turned to shit are the ones that are run by progressives, and conservatives got a little more law and order. So I like conservative values. Sorry, Jeff.
No, I appreciate your being candid with the people. And I always thought of you, I know you a long time, as I think the word's pragmatic in your politics, just like anything else. Like you look at the homeless issue or an immigration issue the same way you would look at it, how to fix a car or build a house.
Yes, I do.
What common sense, what does common sense say? And if other people want to put labels on that, because you're not a stuffy conservative. You're a fun-loving comedian to me, so I don't see you that way.
I know, but all you have to do is fucking get 1 millimeter out of this template that these self-righteous assholes have come up with. And if you just cross over, then you're conservative or right-wing. All right, here's a right-wing talking point, you fucking feckless pussy. I'm for school choice. Are you for school choice? Not you, Jeff Ross, the fucking guy listening. You and then explain to me why you don't like school choice, and then explain to me if that's a right-wing talking point. Fucking having kids in the inner city to have a voucher and be able to get a decent education. Okay, that's Ted Nugent. Jesus Christ, the media is so fucked up. Everyone's so fucked up. That's all I have to do is you just disagree with His Highness on one thing, and all of a sudden, come down and tell me why I'm wrong. Ugh. I'm tired of it.
What do you think's going to happen? Do you think things are going to continue to get divisive, or do you think now with the way things are going with Biden, do you think people are going to soften up and start acknowledging each other's feelings and thoughts in a different way and political opinions in a newer?
I think if the news stops, driving it so hard, it'll probably work. But we're living in this era where you just have this group and that group, and you have to recognize that group, and you have to apologize for your group. And it's like having a whole bunch of groups is not really a good way to run anything. I mean, what if you ran work the way the left wants to run the country? Like I'd go, well, my black employees are over here. They have their own table. And then I have my Asians over here. They got a table. And then my Hispanics, like, well, how could you run that business?
That's a good point.
Well, why run a country that way if you're just trying to turn everyone against each other? When you bring up when you put people in a group, you've taken the first step at turning them against each other.
Mm-hmm. What's your first question when you get to interview President Trump? What's your first question? Have you thought about it?
Oh yeah, I got a joke that you'd probably appreciate. I was going to present him with a windbreaker, but I don't know if I'm going to see him now, so I might as well just tell the joke, right, to you.
Yeah, I'd love to hear it.
By the way, we're live on stereo. I had a windbreaker made up that I was gonna present to him. So the joke goes, everyone is trying to get rid of ICE. That's Immigration Custom Enforcement. So they want to abolish ICE. If Biden's in charge, he says he's going to abolish ICE. I would say, Mr. President, I have a foolproof plan for you to save ICE, because I know you want to keep ICE, and I know Biden wants to get rid of ICE, and I'll tell you exactly how you can do it, and it will work 100% of the time. It's right now, it's Immigration Custom Enforcement, which is ICE. Right. ICE was the name of Val Kilmer's character in Top Gun, right? Like he's the biggest douche in the sky, right? ICE is cold. Everyone hates ICE, right? I said, just leave the windbreakers alone and just start it with the word national. National Immigration Custom Enforcement. Who's going to abolish NICE? No one's gonna. It'd be political suicide if you said I want to abolish NICE, and it would be an attractive recruiting. It'd be great for recruiting because instead of the ICE and all that baggage, you'd be the NICE officer, and you could get away with anything. If you had that thing on, you'd be like. What's that guy doing beat the shit out of that grandmother, that Guatemalan grandmother? And you'd go, I don't know. She must have done something wrong. He's a nice agent.
He must. Nice guy. Nice guys finish last.
So I will.
Yeah. I think he would have liked that. I think he'd like that joke. I'm an expert in Donald Trump's sense of humor, having roasted him a few times.
I would give him the whole. I'd give him the windbreaker.
That's such a good idea.
It looks pretty good on the windbreaker, too.
I'm surprised you never got on any of those roasts, the Donald Trump roasts. Those were some legendary appearances.
I wasn't around. I didn't do much stuff with Comedy Central for a long time. And then the Baldwin roast, I just called him with about 2 or 3 weeks. It was really, that was Mike August. Mike August just called me and said...
called me. Mike August said, call me.
Oh, he called you, and then he called me, right. And he said, you should do the Baldwin roast. And I was like, and he's like, call Alec. And I'm like, I don't want to bother the guy. You know, they got their lineup. And I was like, call him up. So I called him up. And here we are. I'm really glad I did it.
You crushed it.
Well, thanks,
You're
buddy.
a highlight. It was an amazing appearance. And it's not easy when you're up there following such great comics as Caitlyn Jenner and
Blake Griffin. Turned out to be good. Well, also, people don't realize that you get out of it for a decade and things have changed. Like, we used to go up there with 3x5 cards, just a stack of 3x5 cards, you know. And you'd also have to pay attention to what everyone was saying before you, because you may have had that same joke in your pile, and it was up to you to kind of weed it out, you know. Now, they don't tell you what the other people's jokes are. Well, they don't tell me, but they'll go like, somebody's going before you's got a joke that's kind of about that. Maybe you should pull that one out or something.
Oh yeah, it was torture. Here, I just found some of my jokes. Caitlyn Jenner. Wait, hold on. Alec, you're a big star. Alec Baldwin, you're a big star. How the fuck do you get arrested for punching a guy over a parking spot? Next time, valet your car and support your brother's business.
It's funny.
Caitlyn Jenner, I love you. You look like Nicole Brown Simpson if OJ was her surgeon. Oh my God.
Oh God.
I think I cut that one out.
I got a joke
Caitlyn,
for you.
you're a legend.
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
I got it.
Caitlyn, you're a legend. Remember when your picture was on Wheaties boxes back when people could still look at you when they eat?
Oh, that's a good one. Dawson loves that one.
By the way, is that really Caitlyn Jenner, or did someone say Beetlejuice 3 times?
You're meaner than I am.
I'm sorry.
I got a joke. I got a joke that Larry David loved.
Yeah.
Larry
he was in the front row.
He was, or he was close to the front. Or maybe he was in the front row. But during the commercial break.
Front table, yeah.
During the commercial break, he came over to the edge of the stage and told me he loved this joke. And I thought, well, if Larry David loves that joke, then that's good enough for me, right?
That's huge.
So, you want to hear the joke?
Yeah.
I was like, or maybe not. Maybe this is the right venue for that. So I said I had Alec Baldwin, Robert De Niro over there and sitting right next to each other. And I said, Alec Baldwin, Robert De Niro, two of the greatest living actors. Like what craft, what ability, what gifts. But I said, really, if you think about it, I mean, after hearing about all this Harvey Weinstein business, is acting really that difficult? I mean, what other job works like acting? You want to be a commercial airline pilot? Right. Any experience? None whatsoever. Okay, blow that fat Jew. We'll have you up in the skies this afternoon. You want to be a dental hygienist? Yeah. Any experience? None. Okay, blow the fat Jew. We'll see you Monday at the office. You can tell. You can see why Larry David would like that joke, right?
Larry was laughing very hard, and I ran into him at a party, and I said something. He said, "What's the next roast?" And I said, "Well, we're roasting Alec Baldwin next month." And I said, "You should come out as Bernie Sanders. He's Donald Trump and on SNL." And I don't like roasts. I don't like roasts. And I move a foot closer so no one else can hear me because we're at a crowded party. And I start telling him some of my jokes. Mm-hmm. And he's laughing so hard that he's like hanging on me. And he goes, "What is it?" And then literally, he was my guest at the first table because he loved it so much. And then I'm glad that you had a moment to talk to him about which his jokes were the favorites. It's like roast brings people together. I always hear that all the time, Adam. I'm like, oh, that's too mean. I would never do that. And then I remember Larry King We were roasting David Hasselhoff, and we roasted him so hard that it almost became the Larry King roast, and he was furious.
Oh, you roasted,
You know, and
you fragged Larry King, right? And he was furious.
Then Larry was so mad. And then when Larry King went up and delivered his monologue, he was so scathing and hilarious that he forgot he was mad and had the best night of his life.
Let's see. Was this my joke? Let's see. I told this one. This is Bobby De Niro. I know you're going through a tough divorce. That's rough. It's hard to meet ladies, especially at your age. Might I suggest a new dating app for old fucks? It's called Carbon Dating. Don't, took a second there. Don't worry, carbon is black. Robert just dates the sisters. You've been in more black women than the Ebola virus. I forgot all about that joke. We are live, by the way, on the stereo app. How's our roast the host doing?
Hold on.
All right.
Hold on. Robert De Niro loves beautiful black women so much he's trying to grow one on his face.
Sorry.
Robert De Niro is so old, he was God's father.
You have all yours in your computer? All right, go ahead.
I just pulled it up while I'm talking to you. Bob is also part owner. Robert De Niro is part owner of my favorite sushi restaurant, Nobu. By the way, Nobu is also what his girlfriend says when he asks her to dress up like sexy Harriet Tubman.
Oh, God.
Listen, man, you had to be there.
Yeah.
I'm going to play some Roast the Host messages because there's so many people lining up to hurt our feelings out.
All right.
This is live on stereo. We're just having a good time, blowing off some steam with my main man, Adam Carolla, and all of you. What do you got?
Adam Carolla is like the premature version of Gilbert Gottfried.
Yeah.
I think that would hurt.
Jeff, your skin ought to be real thick because you look like a fucking iguana.
That's not bad. Thank you, Wesley. You look like an iguana.
Adam Carolla is the passion fruit iced tea of podcasts.
Oh, I hate passion fruit iced tea. Yeah, this is not awesome.
Jeff, you need some more fucking friends if you think that this man over here on your right breaks things down better than anybody in the world.
Thank you, Disco Dave.
Well, let me say this: this is all the calories and none of the whipped cream. You know what we're getting is the negative part of the roast without the funny part of the roast.
We'll get there.
But no, really, I still got love for Adam. I still have a bottle of Mangrena signed by him. I had him signed in Cincinnati at Jungle Gyms.
All right.
I remember going there.
Going, Adam?
Going good.
Yeah, that's good. I have some. What's the other one with the bro?
Oh, brose.
What'd you call it? The brose. That's my favorite.
Yeah,
I get drunk on your brose sometimes. It pairs well with yelling at I don't know,
homeless person. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
My guy Adam Carolla is the Carrot Top to podcast.
I don't even get that.
Let's see. Let's see. Oh, we got.
When I was Mr. Bertram Mania from K.
What was that
sorry.
one?
I think he had, he did the classic radio, had it on in the background while he was recording.
I'd say we should edit this segment down, but there'd be nothing left.
Hey, Adam Carolla. This is Adam Camry. Nice to meet you.
Thank you, Abe.
Thank you.
Adam Carolla's career is so washed up, he has to jerk off Jimmy Kimmel just to get a spot on Jimmy Kimmel's show.
Ooh, that one cuts deep.
I've done Jimmy Kimmel's show more than anybody, I think.
Yeah, but how many did you have to jerk him off to get the spot is really the question.
No, sometimes I'd give him anal. I'm not a weirdo, but business is
I didn't
business.
say the roasting would the roasting can be very lowbrow, and I know you're more of a unibrow.
You wrote that down 2 hours ago. Then he got high.
I did. I swear.
And forgot where he put his cocktail napkin, and then he just found it.
I did it.
All right, I'm growing weary. Let's do one more. You want to do one more?
All right.
Congrats. You get another $1,000 for being.
I don't know what that was.
Fuck it. Jeff Ross, you was the caterpillar in Epic.
You were the caterpillar.
Jeff motherfucking Ross.
Yo, Jeff Ross.
What?
What's your favorite person that you ever roasted? Sorry for the long pause. I wanted to say, hey, Adam, too. But, yeah, who's your favorite person to roast?
You know, I have a stock answer for that question. It's whoever's next.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel that
Because
way
it's
about.
so fun.
I feel that way about prostitutes. But the good news is, Jeff, your job is safe after hearing some of the offerings from the civilians out there. I really think you'd have a better shot at getting a roof put on your house. All right, Jeff. Let me give Jeff a plug here. Thick Skin with Jeff Ross. It's available on Apple Podcasts and YouTube, and you can follow him at Stereo, by the way. Real Jeff Ross at the Stereo App Store at Jeff Ross. I wanted to say happy birthday to superfan Giovanni, who's always been a dedicated soul and helped this show more than just about anyone. I got live events coming up West Palm Beach Improv, November 20th and 21st, and doing a matinee show with Mark Garagos over there, the attorney. We're going to be doing a live Reasonable Doubt podcast over there. So you just go to adamcarolla.com, and you can also check out and put a bunch of our stand-up on the YouTube page, as you can enjoy our YouTube page as well. And Jeff, you got some plugs, or did I hit your plugs?
Well, I wanted to ask you about the stand-up, because I've been nervous about doing these socially distant shows, and I hear you're going to Florida where it's still warm enough probably to perform outside. But are you performing inside at half capacity, or what does it look like when you do these shows?
Yeah, it's some places are less, some places are more, but you know, people, they end up, it just looks like a pile of people sitting there eating nachos. It's not what you'd think. There's not much of a science to it. It's like the same science for the club. It's the same science for a Southwest flight. Everyone's got to wear a mask, except for you're eating snacks now and your mask's around your chin. Like, it's not, it's the same science. It's kind of no science. But
so the mask doubles as a napkin.
Yeah, it's like one of those. You ever see the horses walking in Central Park and they got that poop catch diaper on them? It's that way for Triscuits.
I flew. I wore the shield. Have you tried the full-on plastic shield?
I can't like put my sunglasses on and use the mask at the same time without completely fogging up my sunglasses. So I'm worried. I don't know. How does the shield work?
Well, it's just a big piece of plastic. Like if you go to a restaurant, the waiters.
Yeah, I see that. But you don't fog it up?
Oh no, I do fog it up and then I fall asleep.
I'm a mouth breather, so.
Yeah, me too. My glasses fog up. It's problematic. You lift it up a little bit. I mean, there's no right way to wear a mask, or the whole, it makes me kind of crazy. And comedy will come back. I really strongly believe that. I mean, there's guys out there doing it and adapting like you. And I think comedy will come back bigger than ever. The one thing that I think will never come back, Adam, is close-up magic.
Yeah, Trump and close-up magic. Yeah.
I think nobody's ever going to want anybody pulling a quarter out of their ear again. No one wants to pick a card from a dirty deck.
It's not going to be that. It's because everybody who's over, anyone under 45 had video games, and you can't learn close-up magic when you're 13 unless you're bored as shit. And as long as there's flat panel TVs and video games and Lunchables, why would you be down in your mom's basement for hours working on the same, all right, who has a cigarette lighter? Thank you. I mean, think about that. Think about my kids. They don't speak a language. They don't play. They don't know any close-up magic. They don't play an instrument. They're not going to do any of that because they got a TV. They got a 90-inch TV sitting in their room.
So what do they watch?
You wouldn't be funny if you had my kid's TV set. We wouldn't know your name.
Right. Interesting.
Mm-hmm. All right, Jeff, let me give you one more plug. Thick Skin with Jeff Ross. And I get all the other plugs. So we're good. Jeff, thanks for joining us.
I love you, Adam.
I love you,
talking
man.
to you. You make me laugh so hard, and be careful out there on the road, man. Don't wear the mask.
I'm gonna wear the mask. And Jeff, always love talking to you, brother. And
all right.
Yeah, until next time, Adam Carolla for Gina Baldwin and Jeff Ross saying mahalo.